Elizabeth Loves Dancing here, and I'm so excited because I am going to tell the story of how I got involved with the Empower Network. It actually starts 2 years ago, about this time in 2011. I was married and working in a hospital as a scrub tech or a surgery assistant in labor and delivery, which I had been working for 8 years. I actually worked at the hospital for 11 years. I was 3 years in pediatrics as a nursing assistant and 8 years as a surgery assistant in labor and delivery. And the story to that is kind of a longie, but I just thought I'd just put this one out there. But so the exact time that I really knew that I needed to do something different was I was in a case. I was finally working days, and I was in a case working at the hospital where a baby had passed away, and the mom still had to deliver it, even though it had passed away. And this situation was a little bit different because there were probably 12 to 10, 12, 13 people in the room, which you're really supposed to have 3, and it was a very stressful time. Everybody was crying and wailing, and these people were black, and I working at the hospital, you just learn to work with every race, and you just love everyone for who they are. And so it just seems like African American people, they're a little bit more feeling wise. They just kind of let things out more than I think any other race. And so it was there, and it was high drama because they were really upset. And I mean, you grow to understand that when you work at the hospital, that people act different in different situations, and especially when like a baby passed away or whatever. And this was just a hard one because everyone was in the room. There were adults in there were kids in there. This one person standing behind me was holding her baby, and her baby was crying, and I was just like, this person is about to deliver a dead baby, and you're holding your baby in here? I just don't know. But then it's not my place. It wasn't my place, and that's the thing that I always got upset about, was just being a scrub tech. Like, that wasn't my place. And so I couldn't say anything, and I was just keeping my mouth shut, and I was just like praying, and I was like, please, help me stay strong, and, if I could just be a little light to these people, then, and I know they won't remember me or anything, well, anyway. So lots of times in a situation like that, you really don't know when the baby's going to come out, because she's just kind of pushing, and you don't have heart tones or anything like that. So anyway, and the room was just so packed full of people. It was just the nurse, so the baby came out, and normally this doctor, you take the baby out and you set it on the mom's stomach or whatever, but the baby came out, and the mom was like, no, I don't want to see it, and everyone was crying and wailing and screaming, and so I was like, of course I took the blanket, and he handed the baby to me, and I was just like, this baby was dead, and you're like, I just put the blanket over it, and I was like, please God, I was like, just comfort these people, because they don't know why this happened. We're not supposed to know why stuff like this happened, and just please comfort this family. And I was like, so this whole time I was like, tears just rolling down my face, and I was like praying, I was like, just please comfort these people. And I was like, clamp the cord, and I remember the umbilical cord was like white, it was like glowing white, and I like just cut it, and there wasn't any blood or anything like that. And so it was really weird. And by that time, the nurse had come over there and got it, and then I had to get the placenta bucket and handed it to the doctor, and the placenta came out, and then it was over. But you're just crying, and everybody was crying, and you're just in a situation like that, you just don't know what to do. But normally you're just like, you just walk out, you're like, okay, after you clean her up, I had to clean, after the doctor sewed her up, I have to clean her off, and that's what I did. I cleaned vaginas and helped deliver babies for 8 years, and that's what it got to. And I was having nightmares, and I was feeling anxiety, and that's not me. I'm not an anxiety person. I don't have nightmares, which I'll probably get into the nightmares, because I think that if I tell more people about them, then I might not I haven't had any since I quit, but anyway, so after that, I went and I went home normally. I think I had another C-section, and then I remember walking by, and the nurse was cleaning the baby, and like the skin was peeling off of it, and it was just like a really scary situation. And so, not scary, but regular, I guess, situation. And then, so after that, I probably got off at 4, and then I had to get to the dance studio. So I was like, just shake it off like you always do, and just be thankful for what you have, and be thankful, you know what I mean, that you have that job, and that, you know what I mean, you just understand that everything happens for a reason, and all this other kind of stuff or whatever. And then, so I was driving to the studio, and next thing you know, I wasn't driving anymore. Like, I was back in that room, holding a dead baby, and crying and praying again. And so I just pull over, and I was like, I've never, ever, cried. Well, I think when my mom died, I probably cried that much, or while in the process of her dying, I was like just crying, you know what I mean? That time where you just cry, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm just, I'm just a servant, and I want to be thankful and all this other kind of stuff or whatever, and I don't know why these nightmares are happening, and I don't know why I just flashed back to that situation, and I just pull over, and I was just like crying, and so I had to call my husband at the time. I was just like, I can't make it, I don't know what's going on with me, I never call in for dance lessons, because that's what I love doing. I love dancing, I love teaching dance. And so anyway, I didn't go that day, and I went back to work, and I was not feeling it. Something kept telling me for the past year, ever since I quit drinking, that I needed to be doing something else. You need to be doing something else. This is good. You've done it. You've showed love. You've done it. You've made it through all this. You know what I mean? You need to be doing something different. And I was like, I can't do anything else. I should be happy that I have this job. I need to keep it. I don't know what to do. And finally, and I kept having nightmares, and I kept crying all the time, and I went and saw a counselor, and because my husband was like, there's something wrong with you, because I'm a happy person, I'm positive, you know what I mean? But finally my husband was like, there's something, you've got to do something, you can't live like this. And I was like, I know, I can't live like this. And so I didn't know this, but they had counselors that you could talk to, free counselors at the hospital that you can talk to. And I told her what was going on, and she was just like, well, seems like you're suffering from a mild case of PTSD, and, you need to be doing this, and you might want to be taking some of this. And, she offered me some, medication or whatever, and I was like, no, I don't need medication. I need to be doing something else. I need to be doing what my heart's telling me to do. That's what I need. And so I talked to my husband, and I was just like, he's like, maybe you just need a break. And I was like, okay, so I took a 2-week break, and then things were feeling pretty good. I was just teaching dance lessons, we were dancing, it felt great, I was coming up with all these ideas for dancing, and it was really great. And then 2 weeks, the lady called, she's like, can you come back to work? And everything started flooding back, and I was like, I just can't. I don't like saying that I can't do something, but I just couldn't. I really, really just could not do it. And so I talked to Jason. He was like, if you have to quit, then you have to quit, and we'll do it. He's like, we'll do this together. And so I was like, okay. So I quit my job of 11 years, and we started teaching dance lessons. We were still teaching dance lessons in Norman. And then after that, I started coming up with all these ideas, all these dance ideas. I was just like, wow, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I think we could do it, and I want to teach kids, and I want to teach families, and I want to have my own place. I want to have my own dance place, because I know that I could do something, because people need to be dancing again, and I know that, people have been dancing forever, and it just we've gotten away from it, especially partner dancing. And so, after that, so I was like, we were doing all this stuff, and we were talking to my boss at the studio in Norman, and she didn't like it. She wasn't having it. And so it kind of got weird, and then next thing you know, she fired both of us. And it was October that she fired us. But ever since then, I quit my job March of 2011, and then in the midst of teaching dance lessons, I was just like, I know there's other ways to make money. I do not want to go back to college. I don't want to go back to college because I don't believe that it can help me, because people go to school and they get a degree in a certain thing and then they don't even get a job with what their degree is, and I was like, and then you waste all this money and you have like these debt and crap, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And so I started looking online to make money online. And that's when I found, I searched through a couple things, and I didn't really see anything that I liked, but I was like spending all this time, like spending all this money, and it didn't go anywhere. But then, so she fired us in 2011, October of 2011, and that's when I really started getting nervous, because I was like, it's my fault. It's my fault. I quit my job, and I'm not doing what I thought what was gonna happen, because I thought I would just quit my job and then he and I would just go and we'd have this cool dance place and all these people would just love us and all this other kind of stuff, and it didn't turn out that way. And so as I was looking online, I had a few followers that I'd been following, and they were like pointing like Empower Network, and I was just like, I need to see this. It's saying 100% commissions. I hadn't seen anything else, because everything else, every other business or whatever, like you get a little bit of whatever you sell, and then whoever of the higher ups, they get the rest. And I was like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. You know what I mean? And then when Empower Network came out, and they were saying you get 100% of what you sell, I was like, yes, I love this. I want to do it. And I just signed up. I was like, what the heck? I was like, we just got fired. Both of us just got fired. Jason was trying to scrounge up some of his students, and I was still trying to do whatever I was doing online. I was trying to make a website. I actually set up a membership website for dancing, and I said that we were going to make videos and teach people how to dance through videos and all this other kind of stuff. So, I mean, I was really busy. But, okay. So I signed up for the Empower Network, and that's what happened.